Warning: this content may be hazardous to your opinion. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey guys, welcome to the Toxic Talkshow. I'm CharlesCharlieCharles, and I'm joined today by my co-host.
Hey, Wesley, your friendly neighborhood Toxisoris representative.
And we're discussing games that we're most looking forward to in 2019, as requested by you guys. In the last episode, we discussed Anthem, which was one of the games that I'm really looking forward to. And today we're going to be discussing a game that Wesley's really looking forward to. So why don't you tell us a bit about it?
Alright, so the game that I've got for you guys today is Jump Force. It's kind of looks a lot like J-Star Victory, so I guess you could say it's the sequel to that kind of. But it's a fighting game. It's coming out on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, all the good stuff, you know. What was that?
Sorry to interrupt. From what I've seen of it, it looks a little bit like the most recent Tekken, but reskinned for anime characters.
Yeah, especially the New York level that they have.
Well, I just meant the sort of open fight, the 3D fighting plane in general.
Oh, okay.
That was, it's kind of a breakaway from traditional 2D fighters, but I mean, that's the only thing that I really noticed in the most recent Tekken, that they had that sort of 3D thing.
Tekken, this one, it looks like there's a lot more camera moving around than there is in Tekken. Kind of like, have you seen anything on Dragon Ball Xenoverse?
It's familiar, but I can't say that I'm getting any massive...
Okay, well that one's, so you can like fly, so you can fly up and circle around people and stuff, and the camera's really mobile. And that's what this one kind of reminds me of. That was actually one of my talking points, so...
Okay,
good segue into that.
You would expect that from an anime game, though. You need that sort of anime movement.
Yeah, and if you're going to be Goku and flying, I mean...
Yeah, that's what I mean. Even
around.
As someone who isn't a fan of anime in general, and we just got 17 sacks of hate mail for me saying that.
Don't worry, guys. I'm weeb enough for the both of us.
The thing is that I like anime. I just don't have time to watch it. I haven't got anything against anime, so don't send death threats or whatever. But yeah, when it comes to stuff like with Goku who flies, you need to maintain that sort of 3D mobility, I guess. 3D mobility. What the fuck am I saying? Never mind. Oh.
I get what you're going for. But, yeah, and also with I don't know if you noticed in that gameplay clip, if you hold down the R2, for instance, it'll show you what moves that you can do. They did that in Xenoverse also. It shows you what moves you have, so you can hold R2 and circle and do, like, Spirit Bomb or something. Okay,
that's kind of cool. I do like the way that in this game, they keep the number of special abilities on each character limited, so that it's not like you've got to learn a completely new moveset for every character. It's just, you've got, like, a basic list of abilities that, from what I've seen, seem to apply to every character, and then you've got 4 special abilities per character that differentiate them.
Yeah, and in that sense it also reminds me of Xenoverse, just because the buttons are the same, it's just what moves they do kind of differ, and I think that's really cool because it helps you to be able to play other people. You just have to know what that move is that you're going for.
Yes. I think it will make it easier to get into characters. You'll still have to learn their individual styles and movesets. Like I saw that, what was he called? The little short guy from, I think he's from Dragon Ball Z.
Hunter?
I'm not sure. Ron, maybe? I think I remember hearing the name.
I think it was Gon, like Gon.
That could be the one. The guy that gets really long hair.
Hunter.
Okay, I couldn't tell you. He gets really long hair when he goes from being a kid to an adult or something.
Yeah, that's not Dragon Ball.
Okay, his moves in any case look like they would take some getting used to, because I saw I saw a gameplay from during the closed beta, and it looked like his moves, at least back during the beta, were like they had some tricky timing to them, because some of them had some quite long wind-ups and needed charging, so they were quite slow. Whereas other characters just looked completely fucking ridiculous with the amount of speed they had.
Yeah, or like the ninja characters, like I was saying when he was playing Sasuke. The next point I wanted to bring up was the engine that they're made in. I think it looks really pretty, and like you were saying, kind of like Tekken, which I thought looked nice. But it's also kind of off-putting coming from somebody that's been watching this since I was like 4, in that it kind of reminds me of like an action figure, how it looks. Like, it looks nice, but it looks off, and I don't know how to put it. It's weird for me.
See, I can't say that I have that same issue. As someone who isn't familiar with the source material, I thought the game looked absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, see, and it looks pretty. It's just there's something off about it, just coming from playing like Dragon Ball FighterZ, where it looks almost exactly like the manga art.
That'll be the thing. They've gone for a more sort of typical game style, if you know what I mean, rather than going for trying to replicate that manga style. Because I have seen clips from other DBZ fighting games and stuff, and that I know what you mean about the different style.
Yeah,
but I think it might have been difficult for them to implement that here, though, considering that they're pulling from so many different sources. Like, yes, they're all from manga, but they've all got their own individual sort of styles within that, I think. So it would make it sort of quite difficult to maybe have all those different styles on screen together without them sort of looking like they conflict.
Yeah, and it helps it match in with the backgrounds, like with New York. Like, it makes it look a lot like they should be there, I guess, is what I'm going for.
Yeah.
A big problem I was having with that gameplay demo, though, was the motion blur, because I remember playing Final Fantasy Type 0, and after a while I just couldn't play it anymore because the motion blur would make me nauseous, but I didn't notice it until the guy pointed it out, and then I started seeing the background. I was like, oh, geez, this is not good.
The thing for me when I'm playing fighting games, especially games that seem like they've got such a high pace like this, is that I'm not looking at the backgrounds. So I didn't notice the motion blur even after he commented on it. I was just like, what motion blur? Because I'm always so focused on my character and how my character relates to the character it's up against, and everything else is like background noise.
Yeah, and that's true. It's more my peripherals that catch it, and that's when it starts to get me.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I can totally see why it'll be a problem for other people. I totally get your point. It's just for me personally, it wasn't an issue, which is something in my favor, I guess.
Yeah, and that'll help you out a lot. The other thing I really liked is from all the promotional material I've seen, there's a really large roster. Like you got Bleach. I think that I saw My Hero Academia. There's Hunter x Hunter. I hope that there's One Punch Man. That'd be cool.
Ryuk from Death Note was in the trailer.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, at the trailer they had Death Note, and I was not expecting that.
He's not confirmed to be in the roster, but I would love to see him make some sort... I expect he'll be DLC.
I feel like they have to put him in because he was in the trailer, right? Like, that seems like the teaser, right?
I'd like to think so, but from everything that I've seen sort of dotted around, there's no confirmation that he's in, which is a shame, because I would like to see him in. I'd like to see Ryuk in there because he's one of the few characters that I recognize, like coming in as somebody who isn't a follower of anime but still likes it, even though I don't follow it, if people can believe that's a thing. Like, I recognize Ryuk,
really
even though I had to Google where he's from, and I'm probably saying its name wrong. But to go on my point real quick, I noticed quite a lot of the roster, which surprised me. At least the roster that they showed in the E3 demo. The roster's been expanded since then. But it was nice for me as somebody who doesn't follow anime to see how many characters I actually recognized. Like, I knew the names of all 3 of the Dragon Ball characters that are in it. I recognized Naruto, obviously. I recognized Elastic Man from what's it fucking called? Man? One Piece. That's what it's called.
Luffy?
Yeah. I mean Luffy or whatever his name is. It was just nice to recognize so many characters in that trailer, and then I've also heard that Yugi Moto's actually in it as well.
That's one of the ones I was going to bring up when we were talking about Death Note, just because
it feels completely out of place for him to be in it.
Yeah, just like with Light Yagami in the end of the trailer, I was like, that's weird, and then I saw Yugi and I was like, oh, okay.
I think he's out of place, and I expect he'll probably have several issues. Like, I expect he'll be one of the underpowered characters on the roster, but it was just fun to notice him in there.
Another thing that I thought was so cool about this when I was watching the release of new characters, like those trailers, they had said that it was like original artwork from Akira Toriyama for like the villains and stuff, and that's really cool to me because that's the creator of Dragon Ball. And he kind of checked out for GT, and so he stopped doing his artwork, and then he came back for the movie, and that's when he started making Super because he didn't want people to bastardize his show. And so I think it's really cool that he made original artwork for this game too, that's how much love he puts into it.
I am completely unfamiliar with damn near everything you just said, but I will take your word for it.
This is for everybody else out there then.
The only other thing that I had to mention was that I'm worried about character balance already. Oh boy, character balancing. How do you balance things in a game where you're combining a shitload of different universes where things are designed to be OP in their own right?
I'd imagine they'd take a page out of Super Smash's book, because if you want to be technical, Goku's way more overpowered than Naruto, for instance. But obviously they'll keep them even. I
think from what I've seen, Naruto looks pretty wimpy anyway. In EdTech's video, I know that him and Shell got really excited when Naruto did his ultimate and you saw the Fox thing pop up, and I just thought it looked a bit shit.
The funny thing about this episode to me is that I feel like I'm kind of the buffer between you and the crowd, like the viewers.
Yeah, you're gonna be the one standing in the middle trying to fucking hold him off me. Well, don't kill him, he just doesn't know.
Like, because you'll say something, I'm like, who are you talking about? And so I have to try to decipher it for everybody else to understand when this comes out.
Oh, that's great in its own way. But I mean, Naruto's ultimate in this seems to be some giant golden nine-tailed fox or something.
Okay, yeah, that's from towards the end of the show, so yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, I just thought it was a bit shit. Like, I can imagine it making Naruto fanboys jizz their pants, but for me it was just like, this is a bit crap. I thought the Sasuke's ult was so much more interesting to watch than Naruto's, which...
I got a little chub from watching Sasuke's thing.
Yeah, I know what you
Susanoo.
mean. Like, that was a really, really cool move. I don't even recognize the character, and I thought it was awesome.
See, and it might be a little cooler for anime people just because they know what that character went through to sort of get that ability, and so that might add to it for people.
Could do. Like I say, I can't speak for those people, but I do like the look of this game in general. Like, I wasn't hyped for this game before I watched stuff and researched it for this episode, but now I'm actually genuinely excited for this. And seeing as it's coming to PC, I might actually end up picking it up.
When I was thinking about this game, I was hoping it'd come out on Switch just because I'd like to play it on the go, but yeah, with what it's coming out on, I'd probably pick it up on PC myself too. Should I get into my stuff then?
Yes.
Alright, so one wish that I had, it's a gameplay wish, more of a fanboy wish, in that it's from that 15-minute gameplay thing that you showed me. I wish that, kind of like, have you ever played Tekken Tag?
I haven't, I'm afraid.
Okay, so like, let's say, so you have your two characters, and then one's getting beat up, you switch out, and they have separate health, and so I just wish that they had separate health bars, so like you switch out, and then you don't die still, and because from what I saw, it keeps the health bar still where it was at when you switch out. And
I
that's
think
kind of a bummer to me, but I mean, it is what it is.
I think that could be cool, but I think keeping in mind how some people... I prefer that they have a shared health bar, personally, because I think it turns it more into... less into okay, how much health has this character got? Okay, I'll swap to another one just to soak up this heavy attack, because I don't care about this character. It's going to turn the game more into a rock, paper, scissors with, okay, this character can counter that one, so I'll switch to this one now. Oh, he switched. Okay, I better switch. I think it'll keep the fighting active and intense in a good way, but I do understand where you're coming from as well. But it's different tastes.
Yeah, I could see that, and if it works that way, I would like that, and so it's not like a big deal to me. I just thought it'd be cool just from what I've seen of Tekken Tag and Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from as well, and I can understand the mentality behind it. I think this will be nice, though. I don't think there's anything to worry about the shared health pool, personally.
It did seem like the health bars are kind of a bit bigger, so you don't just die really quick, and so that's nice for
yeah, like
shared.
even an ultimate only takes like a third of your health bar or something, so it wasn't ridiculous.
Yeah, so I can see it working out well, and I have high hopes for that.
Likewise.
And then my last thing, it's again more of just a fanboy hope for the game. I noticed when I was playing Dragon Ball FighterZ that there's a setting to switch it from Japanese to English to get the different voice actors.
Yeah.
And I hope that's an option in it just because I grew up watching Yu Yu Hakusho and Dragon Ball Z and all these things, and it'd be really nice to just hear the voice actors again. So like I have such fond memories of the voice actor for Goku, so I'd love to be able to switch it and have that instead of the Japanese voice actor.
Yeah, I definitely would like to see the English voices in there as well.
And that's the last point that I got for this one.
Yeah, I don't have much else to add either, so I think that will be the end of the show. Thanks for watching, guys. Sorry you had to sit through me looking like such an uneducated moron.
I'll load them up for you guys, don't worry.
For however long this episode went on. Remember to share your opinions with us in the comments, tweet them at us on Twitter, share the video, and let everyone know that I'm a terrible, terrible person that doesn't watch anime, and we'll see you all next week. Thanks for watching, guys. I've been CharlesCharlieCharles.
And Wesley from Toxisoris. Bye.
Peace.